how likely is regime change in Iran to succeed? How likely is it to succeed?
Right now, there's no effective plan, which is why President Trump seems so all over the map. They're talking with the Kurds and maybe arming them a bit inside Iran, talking with them in Iraq. They're saying that there has to be American involvement in who the new great leader of Iran is going to be. Trump just posted that in the past hour. But of course, the existing regime and the theocracy and the idea that it's run by a supreme leader is something that the Americans and the Israelis are fundamentally uncomfortable with. And there's no mechanism to get from here to there. You can destroy Iran's military capabilities. That's very clear. They've done that once before last year, and they're doing it again. But that's very different from destroying the capability of the Iranians to run and repress their own people. And again, 1 week into this war, they are nowhere close to that latter outcome.
And basically, you would suggest that there is no sign whatsoever of a rebellion or a protest or a revolution on the ground, none whatsoever.
Not yet, not at all. And by the way, there wouldn't be.
Yes, I agree. Yeah.
With all of these strikes going on. So even if there was such a plan, you would at least wait until the smoke had cleared, as it were. But, look, this regime appears to have core support of like 20% of the Iranian population, some 93 million people in Iran total. That support, of course, is virtually zero in the ethnic areas that are non-Iranian. So, I mean, sort of where the Azeris are in the Northwest, for example, and the Kurdish areas, the Baluch areas, that sort of thing. So let's say 30% or more of the Iranian population in and around Tehran supports the regime. Those that oppose it, many of them oppose it as strongly as one could imagine, given how repressive it's been. And yet they're not organized into opposition. They're certainly not armed and trained. And the United States is not prepared to put substantial boots on the ground to facilitate that process. So, I mean, even if we were to see this is one of the things that I'm concerned about is, let's say the war is over, and at that point there are big demonstrations, and then the Iranian government comes and mows down its own people again. What's the United States going to do? This will, at that point, look like an enormous personal failing of the American president, which, of course, implies that the war might go on for a lot longer than people have been expecting.